Welcome to the Face Podcast. Fans, art, community, expression.
All right, welcome to the Face Podcast. This is episode 2. Face stands for fans, art, community, and expression. Tonight we have a special guest, Mr. Tim Livingston. Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me. Wow. I'm number 2. This is amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Kowski was the first, so you're good. He jumped on right away.
Company.
Yeah, right on. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, to tell everybody about yourself, pre-VeeFriends. So how about before you got onto VeeFriends, a little history of Tim.
Born in the 80s, grew up in a small town, more cows than people. Beautiful place, upstate New York, Letchworth State Park, if you Google it, it's the most beautiful thing. I want to do a bot retreat there one day. I'm trying to, summertime, even if 12 people come or 5 people come, you know how Texas was. We'll get into that later, but it's small and it grew over years, just as VeeFriends will do. Small town, grew up, blue collar. My dad worked a factory all his life. My mom was like a lunch lady. She worked at the school. I went to college, as they said you should. I got okay grades. Graduated like 12 out of 70 in the class. I was like the most popular kid in my high school was my cousin, and we were really close. Hung out every day. I don't know if you have cousins like that, where you're just real close to your cousins. I had that, yep. And there's a couple of us that were just really close. On our bikes, I don't know, you're older like me. I was on my bikes, I was with my friends, we played football in the street. Like, those are my core memories, and like, I love my hometown. I drive by these roads, and it gives me my memories. So I'm going way back here, Keith. I hope that's okay.
Yeah,
we're going
that's all right. That's all right. Farther the better.
Right? Because I think it helps make people understand like where I'm coming from. So fast forward a little bit, like high school was a little bit rough for me. I did get bullied quite a bit. When I was little, just growing up, I had to go into special classes because I was diagnosed as like slower, right? Like, and back then you weren't really with the other kids. Sometimes you had to go away, and they put you with a fewer kids, and I really hated that. And I had different books. I remember stealing the covers of books and putting them on my books, and my mom took me to a psychologist to figure out like what's going on, and the psychologist told me that like I just think differently. Right? I'm getting emotional thinking about it because I think about my mom taking me there, and
yep.
like, yeah, it helped me because it's like you're better at different things, and I couldn't really read yet. I didn't know how to read. I was dyslexic and I was ADHD, and I needed to learn that. And once I learned that, then I could do anything, right? So, my mom and all that, that's the passion behind the project. Yeah. So like, fast forward to today, like 10 years of working in my hometown as a grocery store person, all throughout college, going as my art, telling my mom like I gotta follow my art, I'm gonna get an art degree. I started as teaching, Keith, and then I switched it to art, and my mom fully supported it. Graduated, went back home, lived with mom for a little bit, worked at the grocery store. Then I got a job working as a print production supervisor for a vinyl binder company where we would print on like production stuff, a lot of paychecks, employee stuff, little checkbook covers, the little thing that they give you when you get your dinner, that little thing, and you put your card in it. We'd print like the Disney logos on all that. And that really cut my teeth in the printing industry. And my art degree was in printmaking and prints. And I learned how to like set things up, and I was in charge of the whole lab. And I took the lab from running at like 80% efficiency to running to like 180% efficiency, because everything was scanned. It was like a factory. You scanned a job, you'd run the job, they'd give you certain allotments of time, and my job was to like fix all the times and make sure that everybody had a job and it got done in that allotted time. And if I got done before that, it was all tracked. So it was really cool to kind of show the progress. And during that time, I was like quality control, and I had to make sure any piece that got printed, I would check it, and then my workers would produce thousands and thousands and thousands, and then I'd spot check it. So it's like you could do, if I made something wrong, it would be 100,000 pieces with a wrong thing. So I learned my attention to detail. I learned like the graphic side of it, seeing the Photoshop people make the stuff for me. Not doing Photoshop, never doing that in college because that was like, I don't know, it's kind of, I was a printmaker. And I'm yapping here, but I think, like I said, it paints the picture of the whole story. You know, art degree coming through, my education wasn't in education. It was in art. And then I kind of worked up through. My wife got a job in North Carolina, and we moved from New York to North Carolina. When we moved there, I was able to get a job because I had some experience as a graphic designer. Because while I was working at the grocery store, I was doing double duty and graphic design on the side. And that gave me the opportunity to start teaching. And while I was there in North Carolina for 3 years, I was going to school, getting my teaching certification and getting certified in North Carolina while teaching Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and all the Adobe projects. While I was learning Adobe, Keith, at the same time, like I had to keep up above the kids. I remember coming home and just watching YouTube tutorials for hours. Like I had to be ahead of them. And that's just been my career in teaching. Even now, I'm teaching Python. I've never taught it before. I never really coded it before. And so I'm the guy that just constantly biting off more than I could chew, and then trying to gobble it up. And I love the challenge. And I guess I just hopped to the end here real quick, but it's just like all that stuff early. The real learning for me was, you know, working in middle management at the grocery store and working with customer relations to get those personal skills and dealing with complaints. That helps me in the classroom, you know, and that helps me as an artist get perspective. So all in all, Tim Livingston, small town guy, big dream, and just hard working. Like I just want to go after it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, definitely, you know,
I'm sorry, Keith.
you're okay. You can keep on talking, man. I love it. I love it. You know, it's great to hear, you know, a lot of the background behind you, because there's a lot of parallels that I have too. I have dyslexia, I have ADHD. I got stuck in the remedial classes as well, which was tough after testing high and doing well. Then end up in remedial classes and
high IQ, but
same thing.
struggles.
Yeah, some of the tests that they had, state tests or whatever, I couldn't pass, right? It just didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to the brain, right? And so you get stuck in these classes where, you know, I was in a class where the English class was like, we're going to read a book. And it was like for the year, you know? And I was like, what are we doing here? You know, and on the IQ side of it, I was like, I can read this, you know, even though I was dyslexia and I can work through it, it's not going to take me a year, you know? And I was very similar, totally get it. And so it's interesting to hear that, and then you end up on the teaching side, right? Which is which is very parallel for me.
About it.
Yeah.
It's like those years really help define. Like it's proven in psychology, your younger years really kind of define what's going on later, in to really if you want to overcome some of those things that happen to you, especially if it's like trauma or something like that. Like it's hard. And not saying that was traumatic. I'm just saying, like for me, and like we're looking at our peers and like they're doing other things, and we feel lesser, right? Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So totally get that, because it's a tough thing when you're, you know, as a kid you don't get it. I mean, you get it, but you don't get it. You know, and like you said, you're covering up the different book to show you're not reading something different than everybody else, and all that stuff. That's a tough piece to. Yeah.
It's that's the motivation behind the bots, right? Like I had a horrible nickname in high school. I was kind of like the sidekick to the most popular kid in school, you know, so I felt like a joke. And it wasn't until I got into college where I'm like, I am me, and I got my confidence, and like, so as a teacher, I just want to give that to those kids early. Like that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to do with the bots. Because, like, the bots are, and the LivingBots, what I'm talking about here, my project, it's like, it's all about, like, the different walks of life and how everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, like you and me, and, like, we might be weak here, but we have this higher IQ, this brain that just works differently than some other people's brains. Yeah. And there's stuff that we could never do that other people are amazing at, right? So, you got to understand the trade-off.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how did you get into VeeFriends from there? Like when did that happen?
Oh, so yeah, that's a great question. teaching during the pandemic was challenging. I remember vividly, like, I was kind of escaping in my phone a little bit during a planning period that I had, the brief moments without the mask. We were teaching with some kids in front of us, like 12 kids, depending on the class, honestly. Sometimes I had 4 and 20 online, and sometimes it would be whatever. But I remember sitting at my desk on a planning period, scrolling on Instagram, and I followed Gary because I love the Jets. Jets, Jets. And I was like, oh, this guy fucks with the Jets. I fuck with the Jets. He's really passionate. I kind of like his motivational stuff that he says about really going after what you believe in. You know, I love going after what I believe in. And I think his stuff, his content about not caring what other people think about you really resonated with me, you know? And so that's what drew me in, the Jets, and then that, and his passion. And then I saw him, the video I saw was him drawing the robot, and I had heard about NBA Top Shot, and he talked about NFTs, and he's like, you need to get Ethereum in your MetaMask, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this? And then he's like, I'm giving away thousands of dollars in my Discord with these NFTs. I'm giving them away, and I'm looking up what they're going for, and I'm like, what the heck? So I got into the Discord. Like, if you look in the VeeFriends Discord, I have like over, oh my god, a stupid amount of messages. I lived in there like before I was on X, any of that. So I got into the Discord. I was able to speak with Gary in a like, oh man, it was like he just popped up. I had mowed the lawn. I got to speak with him, and I asked him a few questions. But the video that I saw was him drawing the rare robot. And that hit me. And I know I'm going back and forth here, but I wanted to go back because I wanted to make sure that I highlighted the rare robot. Okay, gave his rare robot his due. And that's where the interest of technology and art and story and speculation, because NFTs are speculation, but like what this could be. It started to blossom, right? The seed was planted, and I'm like curious. And now you're saying, now I can get thousands of dollars for this JPEG, and you might send me one. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be the Rare Robot guy. I was Rare Robot Tim in the Discord. That was my name, Rare Robot Tim. Okay. And I was fucking spamming robot shits, trying to get him to give me a fucking robot. I'm still doing it 5 years later. Gary, if you're watching, alphabot.eth, send that robot. But
That's right.
So that's how I found it. And then I just found the value in the community afterwards, because I was like, I'm a graphic designer teacher. And this one person was like, oh, I'm doing a car detail business. I need a logo. And then I met Jeremy. And Jeremy's like, I made Jeremy Knows logo. And then we found Clubhouse, and we started talking about everything all the time. And I got to meet people like you. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And it was like right after COVID. So like we were still wearing masks and stuff. So we were desperately seeking something. That's why I think the NFTs had that huge meteoric rise, because we all found each other. And then we kind of like found other things. That's life, cascaded back upon us.
So with the LivingBots, did that come after, or did you start LivingBots, or did that come from getting motivated the bots through VeeFriends and then building LivingBots?
Yeah, absolutely. It was motivated by the Rare Robot, and I drew 3 robots in Illustrator. So I liked to create in Adobe Illustrator, which is a vector-based program, and you draw with the pen tool. And I drew these robots, and I had 3 artboards, and I drew these 3, and it ended up being Alpha, Beta, and Charlie, like the first 3. Okay. I didn't have names for them yet, and I just made these robots, and I was dabbling with the idea of minting. And Nick Corso, who was on the VeeFriends team, wasn't on the VeeFriends team at the time, but he was making a project called Bit Shields, and I was like, this is very interesting. And they were pixelated shields, and I watched a video of how he made them, and he did a live stream of how he made them and how he minted them on OpenSea, and I was like, I wonder if I could make art on the blockchain. Corso's he's selling his bit shields right now. Maybe I could get another VeeFriend if I made some art and put it on the thing. And I made some art and I put it on the blockchain, and within 15 minutes, and it was those 3 robots, Keith. Within 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I figured out I was going to give them a name, and then I didn't know it was going to be this whole world yet, though. The story kind of came later. The name came first, and I was like, oh, I'll make a robot for every letter of the alphabet. That'll be clever. But it just became the vessel for my life's work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I love it. I really believe in it, like a crazy person, and I think you have to in order to go after it.
100%. I think you have to have that passion. That passion needs to exist, and you have to be a little crazy to dive full into something.
Yeah, I know Kowski feels the same about to be an artist is to just kind of live with an open wound, right? Like you're very exposed. It's but that's also freeing, and that's our process. Like I like that, but it's also like vulnerable. So it's cool. I need it. That's why I play. I got my guitar right here. That's why I play. And when I had that meeting with a psychologist, what they said was that you have a hard time expressing yourself. So I need to find various ways of doing that. And I think art and music, for me, are like the best ways as opposed to the English language. Because I think we know that we can't, emotions are so complex, we can't even begin to describe what love is. You just can't. You just can't. And it's different for everybody, too, right? Like, and so that's where music is involved. That's where colors are involved. That's where art exists. So, yeah, that's where I like to live in technology now. Keith, you know this. We could take what's in here, and we can put it out there to see it. And it's have you seen these comics? And I've been doing these comic covers.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and I totally agree with you. No, I'd say I totally agree with you. Yeah. Yeah, so I think, it's interesting is I really think that AI, in a sense, so I come from an art background too, right? So I took all the art classes, did color theory, did everything, learned Adobe. I have Creative Suite sitting here on my desk, use it all the time, use Illustrator, so all of that on the art side. Sure, I learned to paint and I learned to draw and learned to use colors, but then we got Adobe and we got Creative Suite, and then we were able to do it digitally. And there was such a, for us that might be a little older, there was such a well, it's not original art. It's not, even typesetting. It's like you're not doing it. Exactly. And so and then it becomes right. Well, even though the guys that created hand drawn logos for people, it was like we took away their business, or whatever. And so there's always that stage of technology. And so I think that even as we get into AI and start using AI, and I think you're looking at it already in a way, in my opinion, that is you take something from your brain, you're putting it into AI to create that basic drawings or whatnot, and then you're going to do your own enhancements or whatnot from there, right? And so it's just another tool that lets that get out of your brain and onto the screen, right? And I think that's a piece that it'll take some time, because obviously, as artists as well, it's is it making it less easier for somebody to do art that isn't traditional art, but at the same time, if you're able to take those pieces, your own. I really think the physical art is going to become more unique, and the fact that less, it becomes. You still have to, you're still an artist. There's people that still paint. There's people that still create great art, but also there will be this digital art. At least I think so. So my thoughts on AI is that, as people start to use it and get used to it, there's going to become this part where it becomes similar to us using Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Design, Adobe Creative Suite. It becomes just another tool that we're using, and I personally think it'll actually strengthen the just like, nobody stopped making paintings, nobody stopped doing hand drawings when all this, technology started to go. So there's still going to be the people that make those things manually, the people that draw things on, they draw comic books or whatever. I think that'll all still exist and still have its value. And I think that's
I think it'll go up in value.
I agree.
I don't think as many people will do it.
100%.
Painted, like physical.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where people fear it. And I'll tell you, I put on, just as an example, I put the first video up, episode 0 on here, and somebody commented that said, you used AI for your logo. I really wanted to watch your show, but since you used AI, you don't respect artists or whatever. And I was like, whoa, wait, that's not the reality of it. I actually think that I actually started with a drawing that I had, because I do draw, and then I took it and put it in AI, and it enhanced it and added some features to it for me. And that's exactly my point of what I wanted to do, So I hope that
you could have hired an illustrator to do it. I mean,
exactly.
But you paid it for a service. It's interesting. Yeah. I get it. It's a tool. Yeah. We see it the same way, but that's my only fear with the bots. But I think with time that will fade away, and it'll just be things that are made,
right?
Not
and
things
I think
that are made with AI.
Yeah, and I've been looking at your the comic covers you've been doing with yours, and I think that's exactly what should be being done now, so that it gives people. I mean, think about it, if you wanted to create these and you had to pay illustrators to do it, and all this stuff had to happen,
I can compete with these guys, my friend, as one dude.
Right, exactly, and you would never do it. You never.
You know what the plan is, Keith? You want to hear my master plan?
Yeah.
I'm going to take all these renderings. When I get 26 of them, I'm going to put them into Procreate. I'm going to draw on top of them. I'm going to get rid of the text at the top. I'm going to build that in Photoshop so that it can all be crisp. I'm going to put the logo in the top all in Photoshop so it's all the same. I'm going to sell them for 0.1 ETH, and anybody who buys a character will help me make the story. Then, after that, because we're combining, because this is why I love Web3, we combine the people with the brand and we help shape it. That's the point. The community creates it with the company. That's what we're doing here, right? That's what I like to do here. And then I'm gonna print 26 copies of the comic. The person who bought the NFT is gonna get copy number 1, and then I'll sell the other 25 on Whatnot, and I'll have like a couple hundred comics to sell, and my small community, it should be amazing, and we'll get the stories out there. And I would never be able to do that. But my 100%. Printing background, I'll be able to use my printing experience to get it bound cheap. I'll do the content of me printing it. I can even do 4-color process and bring it old school and be like, well, the AI was the art, but you want to see how real printing is. I'll cut it down. I'll do 4-color process. I'll show you the style. You'll see me stapling them. And we'll do it like that. And so, yes, the AI is doing the work, but yes, the human is doing the work. So, like, I'm a company now. I got a DJ Kaufman. He's Timu. He's Timu, right? But he's not going to come up with original ideas to banter off. Like, those comics, I've been trying to make them today. Not as good. I was on the phone with my buddy yesterday, and we're going back and forth, and we're in the creative flow, and I'm flowing with the computer. And you get in these zones, right? And it feels good. And like, these comics are gonna really help the bots get the stories told. You can look at the cover and you can see what I'm trying to build, Keith. It's so dense. How can you see through that fog? How can you see the vision through it? And I think this is the portal that's gonna get me there. And I'm just following the whole time this playbook, and that's what I've been interested in. Like, Gary's ability, the question you asked me that led me all the way here was, how did I start following Gary? I saw a video of him drawing a robot. It inspired me to create something more. He was scaling himself with VeeFriends. I wanted to scale what I was doing in the classroom with these robots. And 5 years later, I'm still at it, and I'm pulling at that thread, and I feel like the last year I've done more than I did the first 4. And it's because of technology and just my relentlessness. Like, I'm getting better, right? Like, I'm getting more efficient. And When I did my ChatGPT summary of the year, and I use Claude now on top of that, but I was in the top 1% of users, and I had 28,000 prompts. I did the math; it was like 65 prompts a day, and I'm talking to it on the way to work to learn Python and and I'm doing lesson plans that nobody's seeing. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's my whole world is the bots, and I bring it into the classroom and I extract what I need out of the classroom to try to bring that to the world. And that's why I love you, because you see it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate it.
No, you've seen it. You've seen it for a while, and you supported the abstract bots, you've supported my art, you've supported my whatnot streams, and that's why I get emotional, Keith, because it's real, and there's no way it's not going to be a thing. It's already a thing, and if it's helped one person, which I know it has, it's worth it. So
Yep. Yep.
that's what the bots
Absolutely.
are, and and I love that you're doing this, because raw is what it's about. Like, there's so many artists like me who have a dream. And there's probably somebody watching this who has a dream. And I'm telling you, if you're watching this, that you can do whatever you want to do. And if you don't know how to do it, you just say, hey, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do this. How do I start?
Yep.
It's really that
Exactly.
simple.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I think, it's very important, especially artists and creatives often aren't with exception, they often aren't the Gary V personality, right? I mean, there's a lot of internal thought people, a lot of,
They
and
don't
so
want
it's
the
hard
spotlight
to.
type artists, right?
Yep.
They're the kid in the corner of the classroom sketching, right?
Right.
They're not yes,
Exactly.
that is true.
Exactly.
Is that you? Are you the shy
Yeah, I mean,
type?
I'm actually a little more. I'm a little more outspoken than some.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely, there is that introvert side to me for sure that gets stuck in the, behind the scenes and works and whatnot. And I think that comes from school and all that stuff from before, similar to you. But it's so important for people to get out there. And that's the thing I found. So with this community specifically, VeeFriends for sure, is that all the creatives that are in here, and there's a lot more than other communities I've been in, that there's an encouragement to thrive. Like everybody's excited about everybody's growth. You know what I mean? It's like
The bots wouldn't
it's
exist without the support of this community.
yeah.
And I'll
So
be
it's
tied to it forever, because it was inspired by it and it's been supported by it the whole way. And that's why anybody who's a creative should be involved with VeeFriends, and you don't have to buy a token, but you should be there and maybe make some VeeFriends fan art and stuff. I had a blast making those robot cards over the summer, and they're very lenient and with allowing you to have a leash to do things. And with Sora now, I think Gary is pro using his characters in these AIs. Is
yep.
that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So he's
yeah.
leaning in.
Yeah, and I think that's good because when you see, Gary got on there with a few of the characters first. There's a handful so far, and I think it's actually the handful that probably do have IP protection, which is interesting because he's allowing everybody to use it, and then himself. So I've posted up a few Sora videos of Gary and whatnot, and he's actually allowed himself with parameters. Of course you can't make him say something stupid, but you can do some things, and so. He has himself out there, which with Disney planning to do the same, he's kind of the front runner in it, right? He's tested and he's done it, and so again, he's a little ahead of the rest of them doing it.
He's way ahead. And I didn't want to make this all about VeeFriends, but like that's where I draw my inspiration. And if you've seen Clem, I'm sure you're going to have him on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
And he is talking a lot about, and Gary is talking a lot about collectibles and brands are going to lean into the smaller artist, the niche, and you're seeing it with Jolly Rancher and VeeFriends, and you're seeing these collectibles. I saw it Black Friday, and Target had cards on Black Friday. um
yep,
you know what I'm saying? The
yep,
collectible market is huge, and it's exploding, and brands want to be a part of it. And so that's why VeeFriends is kind of showing people how you can not only do that, but do that on the blockchain and activate a community and engage with the community and surprise and delight a community and it's just fun to see and to draw inspiration from still. And I live down here in Central Florida. I go to the Disney World a lot. We have season passes. It's one of our guilty pleasures. You know, we go there. That's one of the things we always have money in the budget for that every year because it's important for me and my wife to go there and share time together. And when I watch the fireworks when I see it all, it is inspiring to know it all started with a mouse. Yeah, and he even
Right.
said an Oswald character that got taken from him. You know, like it's pretty cool to see. And if he didn't lose that character, he wouldn't have came up with Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? Like, I love the
Right.
story of Walt coming up through, and I like to surround myself with that inspirational stuff. Like seeing Gary go charging forward with these characters is inspiring, and I wanted to get my own cast of crew, and so I made
Yep.
26 of them.
Yeah.
And now, and I'm doing this similar thing, and now I've got these comics, and it's a similar vibe. And so I think that Clem is onto something, making these like different rarity tiers for his art, and
Mm.
we see that in
Yeah.
NFTs anyway. But for the
Yep.
physicals and blind boxes and like shorter prints and just variants of one piece with
Yep.
limited runs or sign, or you know what I'm saying? You've seen what he's doing,
Yep.
I'm sure. And if anybody
Yeah.
watching, check out Clem. He's doing an interesting
Yeah.
drop, I believe, in a few days from now. It's going
Yep.
to be
I
early
think February.
February,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's been promoting it for almost a month now, and it's
Yeah.
that's what you have to do. You have to put yourself out there to be an artist,
Yeah.
and I commend anybody who's doing that. And I should probably bite my tongue a little bit more when I'm critical about the drops that VeeFriends is doing because it's easy to crap on things and it's hard to do them. So anybody doing them should probably just be cheered on regardless, right?
Yeah. No, I think I think if anything, there's a little criticism can't hurt. So don't get too hard on yourself on that. Everybody needs a little criticism, right? It's hard in the community
True.
maybe, but
You just got
everybody
to
can use
find
a
the
little bit.
balance, right?
Yeah.
The equilibrium.
Exactly.
Yeah, no one to
Exactly.
drop it as well. And I think I'm getting there.
Yeah.
But all those conflicts,
Yeah.
I don't want to call them conflicts, but all those opinions and putting my opinion out there, it really does give me perspective. And I like that because I'm not
Yeah.
unable to change and get a different look at things. But I can't change the past. I can't change like a stupid thing I may have said. But you know, I think that relates to the classroom. Like I'm very cautious of losing someone there. Like I could say one thing, and
Yeah.
so there I'm very particular, and that's why I think the bots are important because I notice kids all the time. They need help. They don't speak up. They need to
Yeah.
find their voice. They need to find their voice and they need to take charge. And I think education needs to shift. And what better way than the bots? AI in education is coming. I just,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Keith, in 10 years,
Don't worry about schools even been around. We've been around in 10 years, honestly. In my opinion, it's hard. And it's interesting
it's
because
going to be,
for
I
me,
don't know
so
what do I teach these
yeah,
kids that are 12 that's going to be relevant to them in 10 years? Like, that's in my brain, right? What would you
right.
teach them? Creativity?
Well, it's
I
hard.
think
I
that's what
mean,
I want.
especially when you hear things like from Gary, like obviously he did poorly in school and he's successful, and I was the same. So similar path to you. I went art degree. I went teaching, and then I switched. I went psychology, and then I actually went into accounting and went completely different range. But in the education side of it, the degrees and going through education and stuff, it's hard to push kids to that side of it when things are changing so fast. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's like you teach them something today, it's obsolete tomorrow. It's not not the old school where you learn something and it's the same for 5 to 10 years.
They
It's
need to
changing
learn how to
fast.
work together, right? I do
Hmm.
group work,
Yep.
conflict resolution, creativity. I
Yep.
kind of like doing the programming stuff because it does require math, which I'm a pro math guy. I think it helps develop the brain.
Yeah.
And I do like logic and like
Yeah.
problem
Logic is,
solving and. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm a firm believer they probably should have like 3 real intense hours of AI and a guided AI, and then the rest of the day is
Yep.
like motor skills, fitness,
Yep. Yep.
diet, understanding your
Yep.
body, right?
Soft skills. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then soft skills,
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
with the soft skills
Yeah.
embedded so that you can
Yeah.
unsupervised play, right? Because
Right.
I play a lot of games in my classroom. We play mumball. I try to play like 3 times a week. If the kids are really good, we'll
Yeah.
play 4. If they're naughty,
Yeah.
we'll play maybe twice. Um,
Right.
but you know, you got to get them up moving around. They're 12. They're 11. They're 12. Kids, can you imagine having 7 periods and then sitting for 50 minutes and then having 7 different
Yeah.
adults? Like 1 minute you're with Mr. Livingston, and then the
Yeah.
next minute you're with strict so and so. So
Yep.
that's a
Yep.
crazy thing.
Yeah.
So I have tons of empathy. So I'm just an elective. I'm just having fun. I don't
Yeah.
like grades. This is my philosophy on grades, Keith. If it's graded, I'm doing the easiest one, right?
Yeah.
Because if the goal is
Yeah.
to get the grade, then I'm not going to challenge
Yeah.
myself. I just want to give me the easiest one. I'm going to do
Right.
that, and that's my A. Thanks. I got the A. That's what
Yeah.
I was supposed to get. That was the goal, right?
Right. Right.
Oh, the goal is to challenge yourself, but then you might
Yep.
get a B,
Yep.
right?
Exactly. They're so focused on it. So focused on that grade, right?
Yeah. So I just teach different. I approach it different, and I approach it the way that I would want to receive it. So I don't know. I guess you just have to lean in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard for sure. For sure. And
You said you
so
taught for a little?
what's that?
You taught?
No, I did. So I ended up. I was supposed to teach, in a business college for like Excel and math and some other things, and I mostly tutored
We
first.
have such a
and
similar
then,
background.
Yeah, and then I figured out that teachers don't make a lot of money, and so and so then I got discouraged a little bit, and so I went into business and started. I saw that the guys that were going into my classes were going out and making more money than I was, and so decided it was time to switch, and so I did, So but that's all right. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna start my own business down the road.
what can I ask you a couple questions? I'm
Yeah.
curious, like when did you see the bots? When did you find me? I feel like I've seen you forever. I know, like, but I'm like,
Yeah.
how long have I known Keith? Like, what drew you into
Yeah, I
me?
think. So I got into your bots right when before Abstract launched, when you had your what's the series that has the
The abstract
Canada,
bot,
the
the
Canada
green
one?
one.
I had
Oh, the
Abstract Green
Quebec
Bot, then I have your
Silver
Canada.
Series, Silver Series.
Yeah, Silver City. Yeah, yeah. So that was my first one.
That's
Your
a one of
Quebec
one.
one, I
That's
think,
awesome.
that I picked up. So yeah, and I do have an Abstract Bot too. So that was,
Yes, you
your
do.
other, So,
But no,
but
like what made you be like, I want to support this guy? What was the
well, I
poster?
think
Do
so.
you just remember seeing like? Yeah, I'm curious because I'm always.
Yeah. I mean, so a couple things. I think when you first started getting into building your bots on, as far as custom bots and doing all of that stuff, that intrigued me in the fact that you were, in a sense, letting your creative side go and really try to focus on things and creating things. And I think that was so interesting to me because in general, the VeeFriends, and there's a lot of people that I really follow and love their art and stuff, and that's part of my, I've always been into art, digital art, physical art. I collect art, I buy and sell art, so I've always been into art, and so, when I started seeing your stuff, that really connected that you're doing something with it. You know what I mean? Like you're actually, creating something out of it, and so that was really exciting for me to see, and so, you keep on moving along, and keep on reinventing what you're doing in a sense, and getting to where you need to be. And I think that journey is so important. It's so important as an artist to kind of go, it doesn't even, if you're pivoting to different things, it's all creating towards something, right? So now you're heading towards these comic books that I think is where you needed to go. But one, the technology wasn't there yet. Two, you didn't have it where you wanted to be, right? And so I think that's so important, and it's that growth that is really intriguing and really interesting. Let
It's
alone you
crazy.
got
The
to,
bots are growing with the technology. I was looking at my
yeah,
prompts a year
exactly,
ago, night and day.
yeah,
Like the
totally
art that was
different,
being
totally,
spit out, crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's amazing, it's amazing. And we should mention that you got to do you're a Topps Chrome artist too, right?
Very honored, man. I feel bad sometimes that I like demand so much from VeeFriends because they have given me so much. Not just the best friendships of my life, but some of the best memories and opportunities, you know?
Yep,
And so I gotta give them a break sometimes. But I gotta be me too. I'm just me. I'm just
yep,
me, buddy. And I love you for
yep,
supporting the bots, and I appreciate you for telling me why you it resonated with you. And um, it's just something that it calling me. It's calling me,
yep,
and
yep,
it seems like everything that I've done up till now has gotten me ready to really
yep,
make this happen. Like to
yep,
really, like
yep,
it's happening. Like it's LivingBots.io exists. There are real
yep,
resources there, and I'm gonna really
yep,
fine tune that over the next few months. And here's my next
yep,
move after the comics and all that. It's going to
yep,
schools and getting teachers excited about teaching again. It's a two-part. I talk to teachers and then I talk to kids, and I give you all of this for free. And then my IP is in the eyeballs of all these people, and
yep,
that's the jab 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 right hook. It's the value 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 art.
yep. Yep, exactly, exactly. Well, and that's great because I know you and I have dialogue back and forth on I worked for one of my clients did dyslexia training for different schools and then put their programs into schools and whatnot, and so it's very similar to what you're talking about with the bots, where if you give these schools a program it's a package, right, that they can just take and use and be able to run through it that gets them what they need for either the additional education or programs within their systems. It's there for them, so you just got to package it and give it to them, and they're
Yep.
ecstatic about it.
Tools
And there's
like
grants
for
that they
classroom
do and all that
management
stuff.
tools, grouping tools,
Yep,
printables, books
exactly,
for activities.
exactly.
I've gone to the PDs. I and they all suck. And
Yeah,
so it's not going to be hard to make something of
yeah,
value that looks slick and that
yeah,
kids connect to and want to do.
yeah. That aren't from
That's you got to
1980 or 1970 or whatever.
you got to draw them in. You got to make it
Yeah,
interesting. You're fighting with
yeah.
TikTok. It's an impossible fight. I'm
It's all
lucky I
attention.
have computers.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
have a little
no,
better than some of these others, right? Yeah,
well, I can get them to,
yeah,
they can, I'm like, don't play a game, make one.
yeah,
Vibe code one.
yeah, yeah,
I'm probably breaking a little bit of the rules, Keith, because I'm letting them just go nuts on these AIs because, well, I'm
yeah,
supervising them, but I'm allowing them to
yeah,
code above their
yeah,
skis. But
yeah,
I'm of the mind that you learn more by playing and breaking,
yeah,
and I'm always going to
yeah.
be the one that's out there, like, do,
Agreed.
digging a hole in my yard, trying to figure out what's
Right.
going on.
Figuring
You
out
know
how
what
to
I mean?
plumb, right? Yeah,
Dude, I
yeah,
that was that things like that we need kids to do because doing things that are
yeah,
hard that you don't think you can do
yeah,
and overcoming them shows you that you can do hard things, and it's just you'll keep doing them. They won't be hard
yeah.
anymore, and you'll just
Yeah,
expect that you'll get it done. And
100%.
so that's what kids need because they got years on us, Keith. We're old guys. If they
Yep.
locked in, I tell them this all the time. I'm like, you can code just as good as me. I'm
Yep.
showing you how. You're
Yep.
11. People would rather buy from you than me. You're 11.
Yep. Yep.
Build something. You could make an
Yep.
app for 99 cents that goes viral, and you could be a
Yeah.
millionaire before you hit high school. They're there,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Yep.
I can't wait to see a movie that's made by a 7-year-old that's a hit
Right.
with AI,
Yep.
right? It's going to
Yep.
happen.
Exactly.
a
It's going to
story, a
happen.
book, or something that was created from the creativity of a
Yep.
child, because they have this wonderment. I do believe they didn't have the technical ability, but they have the visionary ability and that imaginative ability, and that is why humans need to keep going. But we can use technology to do the hard stuff. But we should
Yep.
keep dreaming, and I'm
Yep.
bullish on technology as far as that goes. So I
Yep.
mean,
Me
what do
too.
you think? What do you see in 5 years? AI, like, what's it
Yeah.
doing?
I mean, just this morning I saw, the Google. I'm totally blanking on it, but it's these. You could create this virtual world. I mean, right now it costs, you have to have the higher upgrade on Google, but you can create a virtual world and walk through the whole virtual world within minutes and create this, and it's just amazing that you think of like you know the Legend of Zelda Link games that are out there where it's open world, fairly open world and whatnot. You're now gonna be able to create something like that in minutes, where that was something that took a couple years to build out, right? And so somebody that wants to create this virtual world that they want to create and then have a game or have whatever that you want to hang out with your friends socially, whatever you want to do in that world, that's going to be something that anybody can
Maybe you
create.
want to teach
Just
the world in your own world
yeah,
with your
yeah,
robots
exactly.
in a big alpha robot
Yep,
PFP, and that's what you look like. And then
yep,
you're teaching an
exactly.
elephant, and you're teaching an ape, and you're teaching a
Yep,
penguin, and it's
yep,
fun. And then you
yep, and
put
they're all
in,
happy in what they are, and yeah, exactly.
it'd be fun.
Yep,
That's why we're in this space, because we love it. I think one thing that we get wrong though, as pioneers in technology, um, is that we keep going after the next thing. Like with NFTs, it was like, oh, now we have NFTs on Bitcoin.
yeah,
Now we have this and this and this, and we keep.
yeah. Right. That's right. We're just
Here we
going.
go.
We're just going no matter what. I don't care. I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it very. I don't need to have. We don't need to have the fancy stuff. I want to keep it very simple
So
and
my next
whatnot.
question to you is, what is
Yeah.
your bots? Is it this? Is this your bots? Is giving me a stage your
Yeah. Yeah.
thing?
So I mean, I have about a million things going on. And that's just my personality. Is I have four different businesses going. I have doing this because I just was like, I need to, for me, this was a little bit of a, I need to get out of my comfort zone and get back to being online and face to face with people. And also, I find that I'm really fascinated by the a brand or an IP that has a fan base, that how important the fan base is to it. Because I've gone through other companies where the previous company I worked with, we went from 2 million to quarter billion revenue. Really grew fast in 10 years, like really fast growth, and it was really the fans of the products that drove that growth. Right? They really became fanatics. Like they would buy, you put something out, they'd buy it. Just like in VeeFriends, there's you put one thing out, 1,000 people buy it. Right? It's sold out. That kind of thing. And it's really the fans that help those businesses along, but also there's fan art that I'm really intrigued by. Fan creativity. Like it's not even just art itself. It's you have people that go off like you know different businesses that shoot off from this. Right? Maybe it's obviously a whole group that's gone on whatnot and sold other things, or even VeeFriends. There's people that have started businesses or just motivated to do a change in their life because of VeeFriends. It's that creativity and experience that the fans then perpetuate more for the business in a way that grows the business as well, right? So I'm really fascinated by that and whatnot, and so I think that's the part where I'm trying to get, at least on this venue, is to get those people out there. I think of Jasmine, who's in Arizona, that she's very quiet and very timid, but she's also creating something in her business, one initiative, doing some of the artwork and stuff like that herself, and starting to get creative again. Where that's come out of VeeFriends, in my opinion, is her getting this community allowed her to do that, right? And so it's that thing that I want to see more of and discover more of as VeeFriends grows.
That's amazing, and that's why like I said, anybody who's a creative should be hanging out in V World and get involved. Because not only is it like a Disney type thing where it's inspiring to see it be grown and how it's grown, even on the business side of it, you could nerd out on how he's doing that and all his partnerships. But also, it's inspiring people to create something different. I created an entire world because I saw him draw a robot that some people would say looks terrible, but I love it, and I think it's a piece of artwork. And you're familiar with Duchamp's fountain, correct? I would assume.
Yep.
And so anyone watching doesn't know, Duchamp took a urinal, he put it in an art studio, and he signed it. And it's one of the most controversial pieces of art because people don't think it's art, but I am of the mind that it absolutely is, and it's because of the context. And Gary is an artist, and that drawing inspired me. It made me feel something, and that's what good art does.
Yep, 100%.
So not only is he an artist, but he's a great artist.
Yep, and I think, and it's amazing because that then perpetuates, somebody's going to see your stuff and get excited about your stuff, just as they have, people have bought your, the cards, hand-drawn cards that you've drawn. People are excited to see them, excited to get them, excited to see what's next. And I think that's, that originally came from Gary drawing a silly bot, right? And then turned into what you're doing, and then turns into you're gonna motivate a handful of kids to do the same thing, right?
The summer was filled with me making trait bots where I would look at his authentic anaconda, then make a robot that was the authentic bot, from inspired, has fives on it. Like those were so fun to make, and the competitive bot and make him look like a clown, and it pushed like what the bot could be or what it could look like, and they were so fun. And you see it with Disney, right? You see it with Star Wars. You see it with the biggest and best IPs. So to be able to see it with VeeFriends is special. And for me, it's been that way since day one.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
and
it's just
Keith, what's your character?
Oh man, my character is the buzzard, and
that's right. I forget because you've been a good vibes for so long.
Yeah, I've got my good vibes for so that's probably gonna be my PFP forever, no matter how far VeeFriends goes. I think it'll still be my PFP, but yeah. So I chose the buzzard.
Why?
Yeah, I chose the buzzard, and it was one of those ones where I'm always for the underdog for one. Like I'm always going for the underdog, right? That's always my thing. Is that you're a Jets fan, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Go for the underdog. Go for the underdog, right? Right. But I've always been for the underdog, and when Rip said that it was the worst VeeFriend, like he was like, this is the worst VeeFriend. That motivated me more.
Rips is quoted as saying the bubbly buzzard is the worst VeeFriend.
Yeah. I think somebody called him out. Was like, what was the one you hate like the least? So I think he said he likes the buzzard the least, right? So he's pivoting a little bit now, on it, but it was definitely his least favorite, and so that just motivated me a little more because I'm like, that's what I like. I like the one that's gonna crawl out and make its way, And for me, it's
very a buzzard that's bubbly. It seems you wouldn't be. I wouldn't want a bubbly buzzard. Right? It's ironic. It's cool. I like it.
Yep. But you remember from Jungle Book? There was the buzzards that were kind of those kind of dopey looking buzzards and stuff. That's more Gary's original drawing. Kind of looks like that. And so I like those characters, the kind of obscure characters on the side and whatnot. And so we kind of have this running joke that we may see him in Tops 2029 might be the time by the time he gets to Tops, but we'll see because Rips will keep on pushing him down the line. But that's all right. I don't mind.
That's funny. Yeah, the robot comic just dropped. It's exciting to see all of it. DJ does a great job of drawing that character and bringing him to life in the 2D form as well. Well, the comic form. So I've loved the adaptation Which do you prefer? You said you prefer Gary's drawing of the buzzard to the
Yeah,
version.
yeah, definitely the series two. I think Buzzard got kind of a downgrade of. He's kind of got that long nose and little hair on
Any
top.
buzzards in any of the comics yet? No appearance of buzzard.
No, no, I don't. I don't expect. I expect Buzzard's low on the list.
Number
He'll get
11, bubbly buzzard. No.
right. But yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. No, I'm definitely. I'm not in any hurry. It does save me money. It does save me money by not having a main
Yeah.
character or whatnot that everybody's going crazy on. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not in any rush. I did get a custom. I got a custom buzzard from Creepy Steve, who was one of the guys
Nice.
that did tops. So I got a custom buzzard from him that looks really sick. Like it's really like exaggerated, like old school buzzard. It's pretty cool.
That's
So
amazing.
that
Yeah.
was kind of fun. I figured,
Adam Listener is also one that I love his art that he's done with
yeah,
VeeFriends and has been inspired
yeah,
by and has created those pixelated arts. And I'll give you a
yeah,
little secret is that I've been in
yeah.
a I've been talking to him a little and we might do a collaboration. He may
Awesome.
work with me. Can you imagine like him making Alphabot in his style?
That'd be amazing.
It'll
Yeah,
be incredible. That's my pitch to
that's
him.
awesome.
We'll see if he'll do it.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
seemed open, and he's an amazing person. VeeFriends has the most amazing
yeah,
people. The artists within
yeah,
VeeFriends are so genuine and amazing, and I really appreciate you giving us a place to talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, if you could say, like, I think you already said it a little bit, but I'm seeing a lot of new people coming to VeeFriends. A lot of like, obviously that's their goal is to get more and more people coming in. What's your one thing you'd say for anybody new to VeeFriends to either look at what they should do, what do you think?
Pump the brakes on any buying and hang
Yes.
out and get the vibe. If there's something you
Yeah.
like, get it because you like it. Don't get it because you think you can throw it on eBay and make $100.
Yeah.
Please don't come into VeeFriends and try to make $100. Now you can come in like I did and try to get something for free, hang out and
Yeah.
get the giveaways. They do thousands of giveaways on whatnot. So hang
Yeah.
out. Where they hang out changes. So just keep up to date. Get to know the
Yeah.
people on the team because they're
Yeah.
incredible. If you're new to
Yes.
VeeFriends, you instead of buying something, you just get to know everybody.
Yeah.
Get to know the prez. Get to know, where
Yeah.
learn a little bit about it. And I think that's important. Like back when I got my NFT in 2021, I did a lot of research first. The
Okay.
mints weren't going crazy. The VeeFriends mint was
Yeah.
open for a few days before, maybe even a week before I had minted mine.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got in a Discord call with Gary. Randomly, there was like 100 people. He was just in the Discord. He just, you know how he is. Randomly, he's in the
Yeah.
space talking about NFTs.
Yeah.
Randomly, he's in the
Yeah.
Discord taking questions from anybody. My
Yeah.
dumb butt goes up there. I get up there, Keith. My microphone's not working. I can't. He's Tim. You there? Oh, we don't have Tim. They dismiss me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. They
Oh,
get me
God.
on with Burge. You're familiar with Burge, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of
See,
course.
these are the people you need to go get. If you're new, you got to go talk to these people. Burge fixed my mic on Discord. Remind me, I'm a technology teacher. I could have fixed the mic, but in the moment, you're like, I'm talking
Yeah.
to Gary Vee.
Yeah.
He fixed my
Yeah.
mic. They got me back on stage. I asked my 3 questions. Wait. Oh, yeah, I think it was 3. The questions I asked him was, how do I tell people? How do I prove to people that I'm not crazy about this Web3 NFT stuff? And he said, you don't. You just be historically accurate.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And I
Yeah.
was like, good point.
Okay.
And then I
Yeah.
was like, how do I be an artist in this space? And he says, keep doing what you're doing. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
going. And if you want to be an artist in this space, if you want to be a community member in this space, simply participate. Bring your own flavor to the party.
Yeah.
And put yourself out there. Because we love to see it as new people, or as old heads in the community. We love to see, Draw your favorite character. Make a video about why you love it. Show you and your kids opening packs. Let us know who you are so we can get to know you and support you in whatever you're doing, because that's what we're about here. That's what, not all of us. Some people are here for this, some people are here for that, some people like collecting, some people like flipping, some of us are here for the community. Find your tribe within the tribe. Too. That's my advice. And just buy what you like. You know, because I think a lot of times when new people come in, not so much during the bear market and NFT side, but like sometimes when new people come in, they see that this TCG gift code's selling for $2,000 and they want a $25 lottery ticket to get this $2,000 right?
Right.
And then they get this pack, and then maybe they hit a big card, and then like what do? And so, like, that's all fun, but to me, that's the noise, that's the sizzle. The steak of VeeFriends, the heart, is Keith, is Jeremy, is Corso, is all of them, you know, and the community members too, and all of them, and participate in community night. And that's all free. You know me, I'm a teacher, I'm on a budget. I'm going to read the comics for free. I love the robot. I bought this many robot comics. And that's just because of the way that I like to collect. I like to collect digitally. And I heard through the grapevine that there's certain nice people in this community. I'm not going to be surprised if I end up with a comic or two of this.
Yeah, I get the feeling a few are coming to you, whether you like it or not. You're gonna get it.
Keith, I've got robot cards, I've got robot hoodies, I've got robot shirts. This was all mailed to me. Yeah. So VeeFriends is about giving. It's a group of givers, right? Yeah. Because there's like givers and takers in the world, and not to say there isn't any takers in any community, but this is a place of givers, and if you're like a creative, people are going to give you their time and respect and like what you make, especially if it's centered around something that's inspired you. And that's what this podcast is really about, like the brands that are inspiring artists to create around that brand. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what that can even turn into, because like with me, that turned into something even more, right? And do brands embrace this, or do they not? And I think VeeFriends is a place that embraces it. At least the community embraces it fully.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And I think it's that, because Gary's an entrepreneur, I think he gets that. That's going to stem and grow entrepreneurs within the. You look at even people that have been community members that are even working for VeeFriends now, right? I mean, it's all. All of it is stemming from, that community and the community growing. And so we see people popping up with businesses. We see people doing their whatnot businesses, or doing, even Alex with 3D printing, right? There's 3D printing going on. Different businesses are coming out of that are from the community, right?
And just like, just support structures and friend groups, and man, I'm having a bad day. I need to talk to Keith. I need to get in the group chat and see the memes. Right?
That's right.
It takes a village, and it takes a community.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, I love the idea of what it could be also, because we've seen how big Disney has grown, and we've seen how many of thousands and thousands and thousands of Disney artists that make fan art for that is. It's exciting to be a content creator around VeeFriends because it's new, an artist around VeeFriends because it's new, and that because of that, you've got a higher exposure. It's almost like, have you read Day Trading Attention by Gary? He talks about how Facebook was underappreciated, and then TikTok was undervalued, and you got to find that undervalued attention, right? Yeah. And I think VeeFriends is an undervalued attention if you're an artist and you want to create something.
Yes.
You could create something inspired by it, and then you can also create your own as well, parallel to, right? And
Yep.
anchored in, because that's the growth of where you started. At least for
Exactly.
me, that's why this podcast is amazing, and I love being on it, because what you're saying is you're highlighting the people, and then you're saying you can make this too, or if you're interested in it, it's open here. These are the
Yep.
people that did it, and you'd love to see more of it. So who's next
Exactly.
on your list? You said I heard you said Jasmine and Clem. Are there any other
Yeah, I
artists
got to reach out to
in the
Clem.
community?
Ben will probably be coming on. I've been kind. I've reached out to, so we'll add in. I mean that's the thing is, as I'm looking through the list of people, there is so many. I mean, there is within this community. I probably have a year of people that I can easily talk to.
My goodness
Very
gracious.
simple.
Whether
and
it's
even
art like this or content creating too, because like what
exactly
Anne's doing is art, and of course she's
amazing. Yeah.
doing like sneakers and
Yeah.
like like wearable like jean jackets that are like sewn and stuff. I
Yep. I
made
remember.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember in the beginning she did earrings and she was doing snow globes when we had the last Christmas. I mean, just that's the thing is there's so much creative in
Yeah,
this in this environment.
I
Yeah.
forgot about the snow globes. Yeah,
Snow
and
globes, that was crazy.
she made like teacher packs at the beginning of school to give to
Mm-hmm.
teachers and stuff, and
Yep.
it's just cool. Even the breaks that people do of the
Yeah.
product and the way that they creatively do that, and then
Yeah.
tying your artwork into that. I know for me personally, that's been a huge way to sell spots and breaks, and then give people something even if they didn't hit, because I want to provide value, right? Like, so I want to give you a piece of something. If someone bought some of my whatnot show, I would draw something
Yeah.
on the envelope or give them a thing. Like, it's that little thing. And if you're an artist, not only should you check out this, but you should get involved with social shopping
Yeah.
and make art and do your
Yep.
thing and put it out there, because I can tell you I've had a lot of success with it. And in fact, I probably should do more of it.
Yeah.
Um, because it's
Yeah.
we're in such a great time for creatives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Well,
fun.
yeah, and I don't know if you saw or knew that Todd Beats, who did the cover for the um, robot cover for the comic book, he had a show on Whatnot where he sold some limited edition prints of the cover. They allowed him to sell his own prints, which he got to go on Whatnot and sell those prints at a pretty good value. That from his creation. So it's kind of, I mean, in the sense they're enhancing the artist's own financial benefit to be able to
Yeah,
do those,
and
which is pretty
it
rare.
it seems to me that DJ Kaufman understands the business and the big names and the people that people like to see, and
Yep.
he's getting a good mix, and I trust what they're doing there. I think it's cool. So yeah, did you get how many robot comics did you get?
So I got 7.
That is-
So I got a few coming. Usually what I do, so my goal is I buy 6. So I buy 6 and then I will open 2 in hopes that I get 2 different ones. And then I'm actually storing away 2 for just forever for just a stockpile. And the other 2 are in case I don't get in case I get a duplicate, then I'll open another one just in case. So it's just
That's
a
fun.
little bit of cushion. So and then when I did the first one, which was actually number 2, right? Because number 1 was only gift codes. When I bought number 2, I think I got 6 of them then, and I ended up giving away 4 of them. So because there was only 3,000 of them, there was a lot of people that sold within seconds, right?
Yeah,
And so there was a lot of people that didn't get number 2, and so I think there was a few people that I just mailed them to them. I said, here, have a couple. So that's what you want to do. You want to get it to the people who want it, and it's not always about the money. It's more about the community. And so I think if that's more for people to be able to do, they can. So I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
when that comic came out, I did a project. I took the comic that I bought
Yeah.
and I ripped it apart, and I took
Yeah.
the staple out, and then I showed kids how it was just a couple pieces of paper
Put together.
folded,
Yeah.
and how you could how you could reverse engineer and make your own comic. And it was the very last project we did last year.
Yeah,
it went really
cool.
well. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it was fun. I think it's just a fun time to teach technology, even though I don't know what the heck it's going to be like in 10 years.
Yeah.
The things that I can have my kids create is pretty cool in the moment.
Yeah.
They can make images with Canva AI, and they can do stuff. It's been fun.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you have you did the set of games that on your website, right? I probably should send people to your website, right?
The website is gonna get pretty robust, man. I got 20 games currently. 8 were centered around Python, and I'm constantly refining them. It's great. I have 100 middle schoolers that are gonna play test the game, and they will find every broken,
every bug, right?
Every bug that you can get, especially if the bug is gonna enhance their ability to win the game.
Right. Yeah. If they can go have a little mod in there that they can change something for themselves, extra XP or whatever it's going to do, right? They'll take care of it, you know. Yeah. And that was another thing that the VeeFriend thing with the remix that game site was really cool too. That was another thing that was kind of fun.
Yeah. And VeeFriends actually gave me a bunch of comics to give away to kids, and I was able to do that. I ran the same competition in my classroom, and they developed games using vibe coding after seeing my example. So it was really fun, and I ended up winning, getting I think like 11th place or something. So I got in the top in the money, and it was cool. I mean, it was a lot of work, but it's there. I made it. It's there forever. That's the thing when you make something, it exists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't take it away.
Yeah.
And it inspired the kids. You know, they see it and they're like, "Oh wow!" And they saw the whole process of my idea to where it was.
Yeah.
They played like a few versions of it, and they helped me make it better.
Yeah.
And that's why this community art, this fan art, this kind of stuff is fun, because the more people together can make things more interesting and better.
Yeah.
And give you ideas that you wouldn't have had previous. So, you know, these kids, when they're like, "Oh, what if you could do this with the game or that?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, you could do that. I didn't think of it." But you just got to think of it now, because the technical part is easy.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, you can just plug it in. Yeah, I think I made a Joust game in about 5 minutes with using the Bubbly Buzzer. I don't know if you saw that one, but with Remix.
Yeah,
it was kind of fun. So you know, it's and you know that takes me back to, because they used to do, you know, the Commodore 64 and the Amiga 128, like the old computers where you'd program a game and it'd be like the Snake or something like that, or, you know, little dots moving along the screen. So it's kind of fun.
Nice.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. So, well, good. Well, I appreciate you spending time with me. You're going to Texas, right?
I have a ticket. Yes, I haven't planned the rest of the details, but I think I'm going to drive, so I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, you're a little closer than I am. A little bit closer than I am.
13 hours is doable.
Yeah, mine was. I looked at mine when I saw you post about the drive. I was like, I wonder how far it is for me. It was 30 hours of driving for me from where I'm at. So I'm like, I can't.
I'm like, if I do 10 or like 9 and then stop, do the rest. Yeah, that's probably the play. Yeah, because I gotta get a hotel room anyway. I got spring break the week before, so it'll be nice. I could take my time. Yep. You know, and then it'll be nice. But yeah, you'll be there. Yes. Yep.
I'll be there. I've only bought a ticket and I got my hotel. I got to get my airline done, but I'll be there for sure. So it'll be fun. That'll be fun.
The IRL, and that's it. Yes, if you're new to VeeFriends, the IRL events are just the best.
Exactly. It's so important. So I'm excited for it.
And so is this. This was great. I really enjoyed
it. Thanks, man. Thanks. All right, appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Face Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.